been a little while. Okay, look at this. Take a look. Yeah, I did some work. Cause here, you know, here's the thing. We had this whole saga of me killing the Grendel, if you will, to my Beowulf, and that was beautiful, right? That was a beautiful thing, and I want you to know it's not my intention to do that whole like fast forward thing. That was a one-time special thing. That was me mastering the ways of the chozo. I have no interest in
being super boring and slow and then just speeding it up so it seems like more's happening.
But I did fight that guy something like 15 times. And here we go. We got the space jump. And so I went back. I got the stuff, you know. We got it. We good. I did a bunch of front loading too, because I'll just be clear, it was boring as hell. It was just not a good time. So I got to a new area right here, and welcome back. That's what I'm saying. We're good now. We found a new. This looks new, right? This feels new. We got it's an ominous feel in the air again. It smells like springtime. There he is. And these guys, you know, they're pushovers, whatever. Naomi Watts is watching tonight too. So Naomi, if you know, if you're out there. Don't ever forget about the Alamo. Fucking A. With the electric. I think I'd learn by now. Yeah, I don't really have I don't have any tricks so far. Just stay low. After all that time learning, you'd think I'd have something to show for it. But yeah. You know, just to seal the deal on that, I got the super misses. It's no problem, right? You don't mind. You just know now I can do that. Wow, I never saw that coming. And I got the speed booster, which, if you didn't know, if I can find a place where I can run. Well, anyways, it's like you run and then you run and you run. You go, yeah, like that. Then you push down. And then you go into that state, and then you do a bunch of shit, and then you can like fly, okay? And it's like super hard to do. So they'll put doors that you kill with Shine Spark like in really weird places, and so they thought that would be a fun challenge. I'll cut to one of those, just, you know, so you get a sense of what I was up to there. I want to pull a Hemi. Oh God. Okay. Objective 8 complete. Come on. I guess that wasn't the strat. Wow. So yeah, we're all upgraded. You know, we're kind of in the back 8 here, the back 9. Fuck, I don't think I've ever golfed a day in my life. And yeah. You know, not crazy about the darkness thing. Not super fan. Okay, I think maybe stay the ball and then just pop up. Just pop up like some instant popcorn. Ugh. Okay, that's it. We got it. Just like that. Just like that, you little get in there. Oh. Walked right into your barnacles. I like how each one, their little spider-like appendages, with each iteration become slightly more pronounced. And you'll notice the bifurcations on the proboscis indicating perhaps that they're range-roving multi-tube feeders. The generation of electric buzz from the forehead, not unique to this class or this species. This one I would identify as Metroid Patacloctal Tegametron. Mostly due to the sexual organelles. Oh, fuck. Let's give him the soup. Damn it. I'm not even paying attention to me. I'm not paying attention to the battle. It's just, it's too much. It's too much for me. So I got like maybe... Cool. I got maybe 2 days left on my spring break here. And if you're wondering why I'm actually doing this, it's because I have free time for once. And it's something I've wanted to do for a while. Just a solo playthrough of a super long form game, so we could get a little loose and a little personal here in the Palace of LightOx, and talk about some things that are actually interesting to me, and hopefully to you too. Yeehaw! So now we know the ways of the chozo. That was the main thing that was holding us back, and these motherfuckers too. Ain't no friend of mine. So I gotta be real careful with this thing. I gotta make sure that this hits its mark. So no fucking ear. Boom. There. Okay. So now we good. I don't think he can get me now. But I'm gonna stay high up, and then I go low. I'm gonna stay high up, then I go low. Baby, going high up, then I go low. Okay, I got you. I see. I'm picking up a little bit of what you're. Newly acquired vestigial limbs. Yeah, how does that work? They start growing legs long before they walk. I mean, I thought we were being pretty consistent here with your evolutionary strategy. I thought it was just, you know, really realistic. Something I could set my watch to. Cool, so not crazy about the darkness thing, and what do I get, a visor, some shit like that, right? Here we go. Here, now I can demonstrate. Here. You do that. Oh man. Now check this one out. You can go like this, like this, like this. Chew! That's how you ball right there. And man, yeah. Speaking of, you know, I thought this is a really appropriate kind of scenario to talk about when I've been just kind of hanging out, you know, around the house or whatever, doing a lot of research. Just for fun, and more darkness. Why do you plague me with the dark? Hate it. So now, I think, should I just do it? Should I just fucking do it? I think I should just go down. Okay, here we go. Path of least. He tricked me again. They're so good at it. I always think, no, you won't get me this time, and always you do. Okay. Do your shit. I gotta get out of here, actually. Can I get... Go. Fuck. I gotta get out of here. I have to get out of here. Alright. It's just hectic. 97 days out of 10. So once you blow that, you're blown. You're gone. So I'm just gonna get out. I don't want to deal with him yet. I want to bulk up. Farty pants. Farty panthers. I can't get no justice. But I've been doing a bunch of research into basically two things: the human body and the course of evolution of the planet. And you look at the way time is divided into stages for the planet, right? Planetary, like the pre-Cambrian era and the Mesozoic era, and like I remember these like vaguely being introduced in school, but it's like I feel like I kind of entered adulthood with this conception that I want it with this conception that just a bunch of shit happened. Life kind of just came out of the ocean mysteriously, and then sooner or later, you know, it crawled onto the land, and then, you know, then there were dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs died. But it's like, it's a lot more fucking cool than that. So if you look at like basically all the big time periods on the geological time scale, they're kind of more or less marked by what was alive on the planet, like what the most like kind of productive organism on the planet was, right? So for a long stretch of time there weren't any, you know, and life arises from nothingness, you know, supposedly. But you can kind of trace it back to archaea, which are like these kind of they're kind of like viruses, and viruses I think might be included in that. It's a kind of new thing. They're still classifying the stuff, and every time they do, it becomes more hierarchical in nature, not surprisingly. Let me get up here, please. Okay, I'm gonna do it just right. You can't get me down, sucker. That was so cool. So like just the fact of having molecules on a planet with the right conditions and heat in the right conditions is just gonna make proteins start just floating around and moving around on their own. And basically, because you have molecular codes, you might end up producing one that tends to replicate itself. And if it tends to replicate itself, you're gonna see more of it. So next thing you know, we got the planet swimming with these just little strands of code, and it still is. There's still viruses, and even oh god. Okay, whatever. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take a bullet because I was getting kind of serial there. All right. But so as the archaea turned into kind of what single-celled guys like, you know, bacteria. Basically, they had to form a nucleus. They had to get a nucleus and some walls, and that's a common theme. Once you put a nucleus and some walls on something, it's ready to go. And so, bacteria have a mitochondrial chromosome, I think it's called, which is, if you get right down to it, they hijacked a virus, and that's their nucleus. So it's just a virus with now a bigger structure. It involved a bigger system, and that's basically the situation going on with our own chromosomes, our own mitochondria. Our DNA can trace itself back to archaic single-celled organisms getting trapped in larger organisms, and it just goes on from there, just like that. And I think that's just really incredible, especially since, you know, we're looking for the origins of life, like back in time, and obviously these things are so small that there's no way they like have fossils, but it's all taking place to this very day. Like all the same structures are here to be studied, and we have just as we have in astronomy, dark matter, which is basically most of everything. We cannot see it. We know it must be there, but we don't know what it is, and we can't detect it. We also have biological dark matter, which is basically we can't culture most microorganisms. They don't consume the right things or whatever, or maybe we just aren't interested to. It wouldn't serve really any purpose. And there's so much biodiversity, and they're always, you know, constantly changing and evolving because they're such a simple thing, and any code that can continue to replicate itself will continue to. And so, I mean, that's always going to be going on a planet with life. And if you want to seed life on a planet, just throw a bunch of that on there, just a bunch of lines of code that can survive and duplicate. That's it. Sooner or later, you'll start getting other stuff. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So then we get into mitosis and cells. Nice. I'm gonna go save again. That's what gets you. Save every fucking time, you asshole. Oh, I have my alarm set to go off earlier. I thought I was planning to shoot for a 10-minute, but you know what? I don't think this is gonna resemble anything like 10 minutes. Okay, saves over there. Cool. We got two. Might seem like we're slow going because I took that death there, but it's mostly because I'm not paying attention. Because it's just been a cakewalk, man. It's just been a cakewalk ever since that space jump incident. It was an awesome victory. It was so cool. I truly feel like I earned what I have right now, and that's good. It's a good feeling. Good feeling. Yeah. So at the next step, you know, the way they have it organized now, you used to just have like kingdom, and it was like this horizontal thing saying, you know, here on this horizontal level you have like nanoscopic organisms, and then here in this kingdom you have microscopic organisms, and then you have plants and you have animals, and those things are like orders of magnitude different, so that doesn't really make sense. So they have like domain now that kind of separates out those guys, and they're wanting more. They could do it. They could have like a subdomain and things like that, because it just isn't horizontal like that. They come from one another. So I mean, even while they continue to diversify from there, we're basically building on top of what they are, and that's going to happen with every single level of evolution, and it all exists inside your body. So we get to, oh god, this guy. Okay, all right. You guy, don't. Okay, I'm gonna get real serious. Fucking waste the thing. That's serious, Bosco. Okay, you can't lose your cool. You gotta get high, and then you gotta shoot up. You gotta get high. You gotta get high, and you gotta shoot up. That's how you want to do it. That's right. Okay. Fucking, he has more eyes than I have. And he's got a saber in his mouth. This is not fairness, necessarily. I'm just gonna go right back up to that fucking save point. It's cheap as hell. I know. You don't have a save point. Kill your ass, you're dead. Yeah. Oh, I thought I had him. Oh, wow. Okay, just, you know what? I have like a zillion missiles because I went ahead and grabbed them. So why am I being conservative? There's no reason. Wow, just... Okay. He was artful in his tracking. He was super artful in his tracking. You will grant me that. I went back to the save point. You happy? You happy now? So, real careful with that. Okay. And missiles are a joke now. Don't even talk about missiles. Just don't even think about it. Just pepper everything. There's 88 of them. You know what comes next, right? You start seeing like slime and sort of primitive plants, which... They're not really, they don't make sense at the scale of magnitude that we see them at. They're just basically stacks of cells or clusters of cells, and so they're slimy things, right? But then the slime learns how to put a membrane around itself. You have little slimy creatures that now have kind of like little slime bodies, and then those slime bodies are moving around. They start building shells around themselves. So the only part of that we really kept was just the act of having a body, like a skin, you know, a membrane. This guy's really tough. But it's also important to remember all of that is only one part of what we are. It's the kingdom of Animalia separates us out, the type of cells that we have. If we were another type of cells, we would just be stack ourselves as plants. But so you kind of like with every level that the Earth goes through, and with every level that a human embryo goes through, you know, you got like single cell sperm and egg, and then multicellular, okay? And then you start developing tissues, right? And tissues are just kind of like clusters or clumps of cells. And so, but those do a lot for you, and that's what essentially starts turning into animals, because the difference, what's the most basic and important difference between yourself and a tree, right? Well, there's a lot of them because we've evolved many levels from them. But the most basic distinction is that you can move around. Trees can't move around. Like, they're pretty much stuck where they are, and that's essentially what made animals different from plants. So we can like move around. And so, can you move around? Check, right? We got that one. Right? And then, I mean, you can go right, you can see it right in your own body, right? Like, so, phylum is vertebrates, right? We have a skeleton, and that's the difference between a person and a wasp, right? You have a skeleton. They don't have a skeleton. They have like chitin surrounding their little noodle body, their little wet noodle body. But we have a stack of columns, and it's very important to us in our energy. You know, if you know your yoga, that spine is very key, and it's kind of what makes your brain allow much more articulate motions to the rest of your body. Gosh darn, that's just that's a den of thieves down there. That's a mess of troubles. Okay, and what is the reason I don't go this way? All Alright, well, I'll show you the reason. It's a pretty dumb reason, honestly. Here you go. Here's the reason. So you gotta do this. But yeah, so that's been really fascinating me, and it seems like the more I kind of ask a question like when did shit start getting warm-blooded, and you know, why was that so essential? You know, why is that one of the warm-blooded things? It's such an important distinction, such a change in the planetary ecosystem. Well, kind of towards the end of the dinosaur era, we started seeing, we had like rodents, we had like little rodents and primitive birds, right? So there were things like that crawling around, and the features came out little by little, but the main one is just warm-bloodedness, because then there was a comet and a big ice age, and everything that couldn't change temperature and was really reliant on the climate staying the same died. So then we had the mammals who were able to take over the world and build the same forms on top of everything that the predecessors had, and a lot of species die off, but essentially mammals populate the world and then go down each of those little stages from there. So it's just I've been really fascinated with that, and I feel like it's something that scientists are kind of like, I feel like, in denial about, and I think that's weird and unscience-like, but it's at the same time, it's not really a topic that's of interest to science. It's more of a interesting philosophical, or looking into the nature of like the whole process, which I think it goes clear back to the Big Bang. I don't think it's just evolution is just something that happened with biology. I think it starts with just having energy and matter falling, and life comes out of that as an intermediate step in that process. Isn't that lovely? And okay, I do want to have that. I want that for me to have, for myself to eat it up, to put it in my belly. Because if I had 2, I get 1. If I had 2, I'd be happy. If I have 0, I'd be unhappy. But I have 1, so I'm nay happy. I'm somewhat happy. Okay. I'm scared. It's dark. I'ma poop my pants. Go there. You think there's stuff? There's no stuff. There's not stuff. Hey, I made a fun video today. You should check it out. It's on my channel. It's around the date of this one. You should check. It's the graveyard one. Look at the graveyard one. If you're the only one that sees it, then leave a comment and let me know that you thought it was fun. I had a lot of fun making it. More. Okay, let's put a stake in the earth here, and I'm gonna get this guy, which I'm assuming there's a guy. Gosh, I'm so far out here. And if there's a guy, I kill him, and then we're done. Because I think that's what we're doing here. And I hope my pseudoscience nonsense has been tolerable, or at least something you were able to sit through. It's a topic that I've been very interested in, so I wanted to share with you what was on my mind. Okay, so this wouldn't be so bad. Wouldn't be half so bad if I could just clear out that stuff. Fuck. In the dark and everything. I can't see him until he does that. So here's what I'll do. Just like this. Just gonna be like Donkey Kong 3. Just gonna spray him. Okay, come on back up now. Good lord. It's so cool how they manage to give you a fresh take on it every single time. Yeah, I know you're just hitting a guy on the bottom. I know that's all we're really doing. Yeah, okay. So there it was. I conquered. We came. We saw. We smoked an asshole. So I think that's a good benchmark there, and hopefully I'll find a way to see in this muck next time. Okay, come on. Let's go down. Okay, go. Down and Yeah, that's how you do that. Again, didn't want to put you through it. So let's get the party. Let's keep the party going right now.